This is our 12th conference and our first under our new name, new brand, ICR Healthcare.
Strategic alliances have always been important in healthcare, but the landscape is changing more quickly than ever before.
Being from the pills of the past, where healthcare systems are designed for and incentivized around chronic treatment, how do you move these 21st century modalities, almost like Star Wars type medicines, and really change the trajectory?
Choice of modality is really kind of following where the science is going to take you in order to make a differentiated medicine.
What I think we should all remember and keep in mind is that really it's about the right deal, right? And the right deal, it is, at least in Astellas, but I'm sure it's across the board here, it has to be a strategic fit.
So what do you need to put in a deck? First, it needs to be a non-confidential deck. I get all the time confidential decks sent to me, and I need to just send them back and ask them to give me a non-confidential deck because we're not able to look at confidential stuff. Secondly, what needs to be in deck? Something that is in English, that is clear, where you show first your pipeline and then some results.
Science, it's really, really good science, and people who are deeply engaged in that science and in pioneering and championing their science. That's what gets Pascal excited.
And we're now going to really shift audiences and shift to what the investment community are looking for.
And so, I would say at the moment in the markets, today is probably peak uncertainty.
We've seen a shift in the last couple of years towards asset away from platform. And I think the cliche is that assets are in, platforms are out.
Companies are going to be less likely to go to public markets and look for alternatives because the public markets are not the access to that pool of capital which they were once thought to be. Yeah. So I think there will be a lot more companies looking for other alternatives besides going public.
I also think the pensions industry is one of those industries that's super conservative. And so getting that money into life sciences, I think, is it's a evolution, not a revolution.
For us, we don't do deals unless we want to work with the people. We can change them, and we do change them.
I think ultimately we look at, is this addressing a real unmet medical need? And our experience is if there's a real unmet medical need, you'll find a way to get that product successfully to patients. But then we took the decision as a company that in essence, we don't differentiate whether people have and what their background is, what the religion, where they live. We believe that everyone has a right to get the right therapy. So we make our products also available in Russia and in Ukraine and within the restrictions there.
We are going to have a little bit of fun. And it's a totally hypothetical scenario in which these guys here are the management team and advisors, and you guys are the board. And you are going to decide what this company does.
It kind of feels like we're in a good place as a company. Good clinical data. We have cash. Markets are doing well.
What the value of the asset is at this point in time. It's in phase 2, so it's relatively early and you need to risk adjust that. But that said, you'll have an understanding or a sense of vis-a-vis a licensing, M&A, or even going to do another private capital raise.
And is this really a fair payment in terms of for all the work that's gone into the asset? It's really true. So I guess from that perspective, my view would be that obviously I would be absolutely against exclusivity.
They can't pursue both a licensing deal or trade sale at the same time with the together. And they also want to get ready for an IPO, and Gino's really telling them they need to because he's saying the market's opening.
It's a very indecisive board. Come on.
To say a massive thank you to all of our sponsors who have helped us get this event together today. All, of course, our panelists and speakers who have made time to come and make this event so successful. But equally as importantly, actually, I'd like to say a massive thank you to the ICR Healthcare team, the people on the ground in London, our colleagues that have come over for the event, for arranging what is actually a huge event. We ran an IPO event this morning because we are optimistic at ICR Healthcare about the IPO market for 2025. You've heard about that optimism as well today, so it's not just us.